Corporation Board of School Trustees meeting for December 16th. Would you please stand, join me in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next on the item is patrons' concerns, and seeing none, we will move on to agenda item number 4, School Spotlight. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. We're excited this evening to have Castle High School with us. I'd like to introduce their principal, Mr. Jim Hood, and I think they're just going to take us through a few things to highlight about the great things going on at Castle High. Mr. Hood.
Good evening, President Wilhelmus, school board members, Dr. Redmond. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Castle High School this evening. It's a privilege to work at Castle High School and be part of this fantastic school. Castle High School has a long history of excellence, and this is because we're blessed to have outstanding students, families that value education, and teachers that are exceptional and do a great job each and every day. We're also very fortunate to have 3 outstanding assistant principals that are here tonight, Mr. Ryan Frazier, Mr. Terry Rodenbush, and Mrs. Courtney Browder. While Castle High School is a very big school with over 1,900 students, it still has a very small school feel to it. And this is something that is very special. We have something for every student in our building. Castle High School offers a wide variety of classes that meet the interests of the students and the ability level of its students, and we also offer quite a few extracurricular opportunities for our students as well. I like to highlight several of the things that makes Castle High School a very special place. Castle High School has and offers 44 AP and dual credit classes. This past year, we had over 100 AP scholars. What that means is that we had over 100 students score a 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. Our athletic teams have been very successful this fall as well. They've competed in 8 sectionals and won 7 sectional championships. Castle High School Marching Knights recently finished in 3rd place in the state marching band competition. 1 week later, the Marching Knights performed in the Bands of America Grand Nationals along with 112 other bands. They were named the Class 3A champion runner-up. They received the Best Visual Award and advanced to the finals where they placed in 9th place overall in the nation. Our 12 o'clock jazz ensemble is traveling to Chicago for a prestigious performance December 17th and 19th, through the 19th. This performance will be at the Midwest International Band and Orchestra Clinic. This event is one of the largest music educator conferences in the world and regularly features some of the most well-known and accomplished composers, artists, and ensembles around the world. It regularly hosts 18,000 attendees and is on par, at least within the music education community, with their recent performance in the Rose Bowl Parade. The jazz band was selected as only one of 3 high school jazz ensembles in the entire world to perform at this event. Our Theater Arts Department just finished their production of Matilda. I hope some of you were able to go see it. It was outstanding. There were 55 students in the cast, 21 students in the crew, and 58 students in the theater arts classes who built, painted, decorated, and took down the set. In total, there was 134 students involved in the production of Matilda. Our We the People team won the regional competition and competed last week at state. Castle's Unit 4 took home the top Unit 4 award. Mrs. Auntie's class did an amazing job. They were not once stumped by the questions the judges asked, and they represented the Castle High School very well. They were complimented by the judges many times on how well spoken and articulate they were compared to other schools. They were also complimented on their scope and depth of knowledge. Several weeks ago, our computer science teacher, Derek Smith, took 6 students to compete in the Next Tech regional competition. They won the regional and advanced to the state finals. At state, they met Governor Holcomb and the State Secretary of Education, Dr. Jenner. These students presented their project to a panel of computer science companies. Castle won the competition and defeated over 135 schools across the state of Indiana. This is the second year in a row Mr. Smith's class has won this competition. We've joked with him, we said it takes 3 to be a dynasty, so we're hoping next year we can get that. We're also blessed to have a fantastic robotics team and an archery team that compete every year at the state level as well. Castle High School has 105 outstanding educators on staff, and we have several staff members that have received awards this past year. Our AP US history teacher, Ms. Kelly Graber, traveled to Washington, D.C. and served as a master teacher for the White House Historical Association's Teacher Institute. In this role, she designed and led White House history-specific lessons during the week-long program. Her role focused on equipping educators with ready-to-use, engaging resources that could be brought back to their districts. These lessons aim to connect students to the compelling stories of the White House, its residents, and its pivotal role in shaping American democracy, fostering a deeper understanding of U.S. history and civic engagement. Amanda Ante, which is our competition government sociology teacher, chargerettes coach, and choreographer for our school plays, received an Eli Lilly grant trip to New York to follow in the footsteps of the $10 founding father, Alexander Hamilton. She visited and experienced actual places that inspired the successful Ron Chernow biography and later the Broadway play, Hamilton. Our physics teacher, Mr. Tom Dahlquist, received a $15,000 teacher creativity grant to explore the desert environments, searching for reptiles and amphibians. Tom visited Carlsbad Caverns National Park, White Sands National Park, Zion National Park, the Grand Canyon National Park, Joshua Tree National Park, Gila National Forest, and attended a workshop in the Chiricahua Mountains. As you can see, there's quite a few things that make Castle High School a pretty impressive place. I have a couple seniors with me tonight, Salem Martin and Benny Patterson, if you guys would come on up, and I want them to share their thoughts and experiences while at Castle High School.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salem Martin, and I am a senior at Castle High School. These past few years have gone by so fast, and I know saying that is considered a cliche, but it's true. I am incredibly grateful for the countless memories that Castle has provided me with and will continue to provide me with until I graduate in May. I want to begin this with something that might be slightly surprising, and it's that I almost went to Signature School. Now, I'm absolutely not saying there's anything wrong with attending SIG, but I don't believe I would have had such a fulfilling high school experience had I gone there. Ultimately, my decision came down to all of the extracurriculars that Castle provides, along with their legacy of academic success. I have known since preschool or early elementary school that I wanted to be a part of the show choir, an activity, might I add, where Castle is the only school in our area that offers such an opportunity. Once I got to my sophomore year, I got involved with our theater program. I had previously been involved in theater elsewhere outside of school, but Castle's theater program had something extraordinary about it, and I immediately knew how lucky I was. Mr. Ante, Mrs. Ante, and Mr. A all work so hard to make sure that our shows are nothing short of phenomenal. They push every student in the show to do their best and leave it all on stage. Before this, I had never been in a program where the directors cared so much about the success of their students. Their push for their student success isn't just subjective to their theater and show choir students, though. I have had the privilege of having all three as teachers. Mr. Ante always gives detailed feedback to help his acting students improve, and I have had the pleasure of being his TA this year. Mrs. Ante is nothing short of impressive. She teaches about 4 classes and has great success with each one, taking We the People to state nearly each year. And Mr. A has always given his all to each of his choir groups. I've never had a teacher believe in me or the group I am in so much. Now I have to give credit to the other academic aspects too. Without my English teachers, I would not be giving this speech right now. I likely would have run out of Mr. Hood's office when he asked me. It is because of the rigorous courses that I am able to speak publicly and hopefully doing it well. Mr. Ryder is an outstanding teacher who I have had the privilege of having for 2 years now. He evidently cares about his students, and it shows based on the work he gives us. I always enjoy participating in the conversations over the books we read in class because he actually makes reading fun, something I never thought I would be saying. I can say with confidence that he has prepared me and all of his other students for our futures. I've already been accepted into 4 colleges, so far one of which has offered me a scholarship for my academics. I do not believe this would have been possible without the help of my teachers. Although I'm not quite sure which university I will be attending, I am confident that no matter what school I end up at, I will have success. I plan to major in psychology and possibly minor in business. Both of these just so happen to be classes at Castle. And although I have not taken the Intro to Business class, I have heard only positive things about it. I have, however, taken psychology and AP psychology. I am absolutely fascinated by the discussions and lectures that Mr. Fritz presents us with every day. I'm usually sharing these interesting facts I learn with my friends at lunch and just about anybody else who will listen to me. Regardless of where I end up or what memories I make beyond high school, I will always remember Castle fondly. I have made so many strong friendships through our theater and show choir program that I know will continue after I graduate. So thank you, Castle High School, for preparing me for my future. Thank you, Mr. Hood, for allowing me to share my experience, as well as keeping the school's standard of excellence. And thank you guys for your time.
Good evening, everybody. I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Benny Patterson. I'm a senior at Castle High School, and I want to thank you all for the opportunity to speak here. I want to thank Mr. Hood for the invite, and I just want to talk about my time at Castle High School and kind of what that has meant to me and how that has impacted my life. I think my perspective can be valuable and different because, unlike most people, I have lived in multiple states, attended multiple different high schools, and, kind of other people have only been to one high school or lived in one state, so my experience is going to be a little bit different than theirs. We all know high school is a tremendous time and growth academically, but I think it's even more so personally. I personally believe that high school is a time of your life where you start to make decisions that truly impact your future and shape you into the person that you are. A large part of that development is the environment and the people you're around every day. And when I moved from Indianapolis, I was fortunate enough to attend a high school that surrounded me around great people that believed in me both academically and athletically. Pushed me to be the best version of myself, and this led to me to make many friendships that I look forward to having for a lifetime. I was also fortunate enough to be surrounded by teachers and coaches that invested in me and pushed me to be the best version of myself. I was fortunate enough to join a football program that opened many doors for me that I never truly imagined were possible. I was surrounded by many people throughout sports that I had played in the classes that I attended. I am grateful for my journey and the opportunities, people, and lifelong friendships that Castle has provided me with, and friendships that I will keep for a lifetime.
Thank you, Sayla and Benny. At this time, I'd like to show a brief video that our Castle High School Lancer staff put together, which will highlight some other things that take place at Castle High School.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes.
In closing, I would again like to thank members of the school board, Dr. Redmond, and all of our central office team for allowing me to be a part of Castle High School. It's an honor to serve our students, our families, the teachers, and the community. At this time, I'm going to turn it over our last portion of our presentation to the head and assistant vocal section leaders from Night Sensations. We hope they're able to get everyone in the Christmas spirit. Those with us tonight are Alex Baker, Faith Warner, Hayden Chumley, Salem Martin, Colin Pillsbury, Connor Imes, Nicholas Ante, and Jack Fritz.
One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound prayers in the songboy and the dove telling their tales. Gary, Gary, while people sing a song of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, ding dong, that is the song. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound prayers in the songboy and the dove telling their tale. Gary, while people sing a song of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, ding dong, that is the song. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding ding. On this end, dawn without end, their joyful dawn to every home.
Oh, sorry. Oh, that made me cry.
Yeah. Very good. Bravo.
If you guys like to come shake hands, that'd be great. With our board members. That's great.
Good job. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you. Great job. Loved it. Loved it. Thank you. Thank you. Loved it. Loved it. I got it now, so it's my favorite song. You very much. They really enjoyed it too. Oh,
Thank you.
wow. Thank you so much. Love it.
You definitely did.
Hey, you had us all ready. That is one of my favorites. My favorite.
Very good, thank you.
What position he plays.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hood and Castle Assistants. That was fabulous. We really appreciate your presentation. Put us all in the spirit, didn't it? Yes, loved it. You're so cute. Okay, agenda item number 5, consideration of routine business. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. The routine items this evening include approving the minutes of the school board meeting held on November 25th, 2024, and approving the claims and signing the docket for December 16th, 2024. I recommend the board approve the routine items.
We have a motion by Mr. Friends, a second by Mrs. Metzger. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Agenda item number 6, consideration of items for board action. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. Agenda item 6.1, consider approving a non-exclusive clinical affiliation agreement with Hamilton Point Health and Rehab. This agreement states that they will provide qualified professionals and make its facilities available to Warwick County School Corporation's faculty, members, and students for practical learning and clinical experiences. I recommend the board approve the agreement as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Mosby, a second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. And 6.2, contract for legal services with Clifford R. Whitehead. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. We bring before the board tonight, consider approving contract for legal services between the Board of School Trustees of the Warwick County School Corporation and Zemer, Stamen, Weitzel, and Shoulders LLP by and through its partner Clifford R. Whitehead for the term of January 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. I recommend the board approve the contract as presented.
We have a motion by Mrs. Glover, a second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've done outstanding
Thank
work for
you.
us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Too late, Mr. Mosby.
We'll let it slide.
6.3, annual 2024 calendar year-end transfers of appropriations. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. By statute, every fund must end the year in the black. In order to meet this requirement, it becomes essential to transfer appropriations among funds. I recommend the board grant the business department and Mr. Todd Armstrong approval to make the necessary calendar end year transfers of appropriations as presented.
Motion to approve transfers.
We have a motion by Mr. Eigner, a second by Mrs. Metzger. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 6.5, course edition. Dr. Redmond. Did I miss something?
6.4.
Yes,
That's
6.4,
okay.
I went ahead and checked.
That's okay.
Resolution 2024-16, rainy day fund transfer. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. Consider approving Resolution 2024-16 Rainy Day Fund Transfer, allowing the Business Department to transfer unused and unencumbered balances from the Operations Fund to the Rainy Day Fund. I recommend the board approve Resolution 2024-16 as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker, a second by Mr. Mosby. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 6.5, course addition. Dr.
Yes,
Redmond.
thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. Consider approving the addition to the following high school course offering for the 25-26 school year, quantitative reasoning. I recommend the board approve the course addition as presented.
I move to approve it.
A motion by Mrs. Glover,
Second.
second by Mr. Baker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 6.6, revision to the support staff handbook. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. Consider approving revisions to the support staff handbook presented by Dr. Doug Gresham. All revisions and updates have been reviewed and discussed with the Personnel, Custodial, and the Food and Nutrition Committee. I recommend the board approve the revisions to the support staff handbook as presented.
We have a motion by Mrs. Metzger, a second by Mr. Franz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 6.7, approved donations. Dr. Redmond.
Thank you. We have two donations tonight, both for Boonville Middle School. The first is a $1,150 donation from the Jan and Ray Allen Boonville Middle School Library Fund for the upgrade of the Boonville Middle School Library with educational materials and technology. The second donation is a $500 donation also from Jan Allen to assist with families in need at Christmas. I recommend the board approve both donations as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Baker, a second by Mr. Mosby. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 7, consideration of personnel recommendations. Dr. Gresham.
Thank you, Mrs. Wilhelmus. The Human Resource Office has the following business to bring before the board tonight. Agenda item 7.1, hiring of certified and support staff positions. Certified is Caitlin Galdamez, temporary math teacher at Castle High School, and Brittany Fording, temporary special education teacher at Oakdale Elementary School. Support staff positions are Morgan Apple, program assistant at Castle High, Andrew Fouts, program assistant at Castle North Middle School, and Siva Parvathy Rotnell, 3.25-hour cafeteria position at John H. Castle Elementary School.
Motion to approve certified and support staff positions.
We have a motion by Mr. Eignan, a second by Mr. Franz. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Agenda item 7.2, leaves, Miranda Ferguson, a third grade teacher at Logue Elementary School. Luke Verkamp, visual arts teacher at Boonville High School. Cindy Brown, receptionist due process coordinator. Jennifer Sandusky, third grade teacher at John H. Castle Elementary School. Aaron Williams, multi-responsibility position. Mary Tubbs, first grade teacher at Logue Elementary School. And Samantha Tooley, special education coordinator.
I move to approve the leave request.
We have a motion by Mrs. Glover. Second by Mrs. Metzger. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item 7.3, report of change. Ashlyn Wingy, 3.25-hour cafeteria position at Castle North Middle School, to 3.75-hour cafeteria position at John H. Castle Elementary School. Agenda item 7.4, resignations. Donna Bowman, 6.5-hour cafeteria position at Boonville Middle School, resignation effective December 20th, 2024. Nira Manhart, Spanish teacher at Castle High School, resignation effective December 20th, 2024. Kelsey Hawker, program assistant at Castle High School, resignation effective December 1st, 2024. Kaylee Flathers, special education teacher at Oakdale Elementary School, resignation effective December 20th, 2024. Jamie Jones, program assistant at Castle North Middle School, resignation effective December 13, 2024. Amy Wells, program assistant at Castle High School, resignation effective December 31st, 2024. Edith Ford, 5.25-hour cafeteria position at Boonville High, resignation effective December 31st, 2024. And 7.5 retirements. Dave Wolf, science teacher at Boonville High School, retirement effective June 1st, 2025. And Bradley Ubalor, technology teacher at Boonville Middle School, retirement effective June 1st, 2025.
Thank you, Dr. Gresham. Moving on to agenda item number 8, reports. Dr. Redmond.
The only report I have tonight is a huge thank you to Mrs. Brenda Metzger. Tonight she's serving her last meeting of her term as a school board trustee. Brenda, we've tried to come up with several of the highlights of the things that you've done as your time as a board member, and I'm certain that I'm going to miss something, but I do have a long list of things that I would like to share with you and with the group tonight, and just as part of the thank you for your service to Warwick County School Corporation and students and families and community. So Brenda has served on our board since 2008. She currently serves as our vice president. During that time, Brenda has served on the Personnel, Custodial, and Food Service Committee, Transportation and Special Education, and Policy and Curriculum. She also served on the Alcoa Foundation and the Alcoa Community Advisory Board for over 8 years, representing Warwick County School Corporation. During the time on the board, there were literally hundreds of things that she had her hands in terms of construction and growth and academics. Some of the highlights include opening the Castle High School natatorium, opening of Castle South Middle School, the groundbreaking and opening of Warwick Pathways and Career Center, the completion of the Tecumseh High School Sports Complex, the opening of Tecumseh Middle School. That's a lot already, yes. Completion of many major updates, such as updating and adding AC and cafeteria upgrades, bleachers, flooring, all of those things that this board approves and has its hands in as well. Hundreds, if not thousands, of improvements at the schools over the years. She took part in making our special education program independent, and our corporation continues to receive A ratings every year. Mrs. Metzger has also volunteered at WEX Center, helping care for infants and small children while their parents were taking their coursework. And she has attended dozens of ISBA functions, including local, regional, state, and national meetings and conferences to keep up with new trends in education. And she holds the highest designation given to board members by ISBA, which is the Exemplary Honor Roll. Brenda has worked with 3 superintendents, Mr. Brad Schneider, who said, "It was a pleasure working with Mrs. Metzger during her time on the board. She was always a champion for all students and made decisions on what was best for students. I wish her all the best and thank her for her service to the students of Warwick County." And Dr. Lambert said, "It is truly an end of an era with Brenda Metzger not being a member of the Warwick County School District Board of Trustees. There were many times when Dr. Lambert says he simply did not know the history of a decision or what had transpired many years before, or how something was led to that particular decision. and he says, I, in all caps, never had to go any further than Brenda to get his facts, and she was always 100% correct. I could literally ask her about a nuanced decision from 15 or 16 years ago, and she would have total recall, never even having to look anything up. I do know that Brenda cares deeply for the students, staff members, and families of Warwick County. It was always personal because of how much she cared, and all of the people she took such great care of will miss her advocacy as she moves on to the next chapter. Congratulations, Brenda, for your dedication, longevity, and unselfish support for Warwick County students. And finally, why did Brenda run? When we asked her, I believe Laura, I think, asked you this question, and she responded, why did you initially run? And you said, to help our community and families and to make her children and grandchildren proud. And I can say you certainly have done those things. So thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, appreciate it. And I have your program. Thank you. Oh, I just want to say personally that I'm honored and so glad I got to work with you. I appreciate your wisdom, your experience, your corrections, your dedication. Man, you are a whole package, and I really appreciate knowing you and working with you.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I thought maybe you'd give me a muzzle or something.
Brenda, I want to thank you too. We go way back, and when I was director of curriculum, we worked well together, and it's been an honor to serve with you on the board. And I really appreciate everything you do for Warwick County. I know where your heart is, and I know you love the kids, and you want the very best for everyone. So thank you for all you've done.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's all I can say right now.
That's okay.
Well, thank you.
We wish you the best, but you're a phone call away if we ever meet again.
You may hear from me when you don't want me to hear.
That's okay too.
So,
We may need to hear from you.
I'll always be
every now and
available
then.
if somebody wants history.
Yes.
So, thank you all very much. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Brenda.
it.
Agenda item number 9 is other board business, and I want to review. We had a work session prior to the board meeting, and we are looking at committees for next year. And starting as of January 1st, this is the committee structure that we have as of January 1st. The bid committee, we will be appointing Jordan and the new board member, Jordan Eigner, and the new board member, Andrew Skinner. On the construction, technology, maintenance, and WPCC committee will be Tim Mosby, Jordan Eigner, and Eric Franz. And then on the curriculum and policy will be Linda Glover, Jeff Baker, and Jane Wilhelmus. Personnel, custodians, food and nutrition services will be Tim Mosby, Jeff Baker, and Andrew Skinner. The transportation and special ed committee will be Linda Glover. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. Linda Glover, Eric Franz, and me, Jane Wilhelmus. That's the. Did I just do the policy?
You said policy and curriculum.
Yeah, you did that.
It's transportation and special ed, I'm sorry. That's what I should have said. Let me review those two. The curriculum and policy committee will be Jane Wilhelmus, Jeff Baker, Linda Glover, and the transportation and special ed committee will be Linda Glover, Eric Franz, and Jane Wilhelmus. And at our January meeting, we will be discussing the restructure of these committees. But starting with the 1st of January, these are the committees that are set for that first meeting.
And the only I think I heard you say WPCC Pathways as part of a committee. I think it should just be, maybe I misheard.
It already
She did
is.
say
That's what
that.
it is right now.
I see what you're saying, okay.
So we didn't change anything.
Got it.
Yes, the WPCC committee merged with the construction committee.
Okay.
So, okay.
Tentatively, policy and curriculum will meet January 13th, 2025, 5:30 here at Central Services.
tentatively, the Personnel, Custodian, Food and Nutrition Services Committee will meet January 13th after the board meeting at 7:30 or immediately following the regular board meeting here in this building.
And transportation will be the 22nd, oh, I got all your twice, 22nd of January at 8:30 a.m.
And the construction,
7:30.
7:30.
I can't get it.
We changed it to
7:30.
Okay.
but I won't be there.
and the construction committee, which is Tim, Jordan, and Eric, will meet on the 14th of January, which is the Tuesday after the Monday night board meeting at the admin building at 7:30. Please remind Mr. Armstrong
I will.
of that.
And Mrs. Wallace, if you'll give me the,
I
I
will.
can get a copy of this new
Yes.
list, and then Laura or I can get it typed up and get that to you guys
Perfect.
before the holidays, so we know what we're doing in January until we have the
And if she won't mind, have her put the dates on
Sure.
this as well.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I have. Is there any other information to come before the board? Sorry, that was a little messy, but we're going to restructure our committees after the first of the year. So we have our committees in place to meet in January, and in February, it will look a little different. So, sorry for the confusion there. Is there any other business to come before the board?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming. Meeting adjourned.